Thanks very much, Brian. Firstly, I would like to pay respect to and acknowledge the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation, who are the traditional custodians of this land we meet on today. Good evening and welcome, and thank you so much for joining us. I'd like to make a special welcome to the politicians here tonight, Senator Lee Rhiannon, the Honourable Alex Greenwich, and Dr. Mehreen Faruqi, as well as our Voiceless Council members and our many, many special guests with us tonight. And I'm so very happy to be with you this year in person. This year is very special. It's our 10th year anniversary. 10 years ago, my father Brian and I decided we wanted to make a difference. Feeling sad, angry, frustrated at the horrific but legalised cruelty of millions of animals, it wasn't enough. We had to take action. We sat down together, wrote a vision, and formed a plan. We started small, but it quickly grew, joined by thousands of compassionate, passionate Australians who all felt like we did, that this can't go on. I would be lying if I stood before you here tonight and told you that we've succeeded. The suffering of animals in this country continues to be unacceptable and abhorrent. But we have certainly challenged the status quo. We've made a mark. We've knocked down a brick or two. And we do believe that slowly, more and more bricks will come down until the whole wall crumbles and our vision will be realised of a world in which animals are treated with respect and compassion. Many things have changed in the last 10 years. 10 years ago, we were hard-pressed to find mention of animal protection in the news. The mainstream networks of print publications just weren't interested. Today, this isn't the case, thanks to many of you journalists who are here tonight. Animal issues are discussed and debated across media outlets. Being a judge on the Media Prize every year, I can attest to this with my own ears and eyes as I see all the articles and reports coming through. It's strange because the issues themselves haven't changed, but society's perception of them as being worthy of consideration has. This shift has infiltrated into politics. Terms like factory farming, which was rarely seen on Hansard transcripts a decade ago, are now a common part of parliamentary debates. The new Animal Justice Party is gaining support, and did very well in the Victorian elections. Internationally, many countries like Germany, Sweden, France, and Holland are committed to working to ban kangaroo products and taking the issue to the European Union, Parliament Intergroup of Animal Welfare. Politicians have finally taken notice that a new social justice movement is brewing and their constituents can't be ignored. Farm animals, as you know, are considered property under the law with very few legal rights. Animal law, a new discipline that grew quickly in the USA in the 1990s, was one of Voiceless's key missions when we began. Lawyers helped to get animals into this predicament, we figured, and so they can surely help them get out. We hired the first animal lawyer in Australia 10 years ago, and since then we've seen a massive growth in the animal law movement. When we started, one law school taught animal law, and law firms were nervous to engage with us. Today, animal law is being taught at 14 universities in Australia, and we field countless offers of support from top-tier pro bono law firms. Young, smart, committed legal interns form the backbone of our volunteer program at Voiceless. But on the ground, what has changed? If I was a pig, a cow, a chicken, a sheep, is my life now different? What has the societal shift meant for them? Well, quantifying the change is very challenging. However, we do know several things. Firstly, there's a marked increase in vegetarian and veganism in Australia and around the world. 2014 was noted as the year of the vegan. We have meat-free weeks, meat-free Mondays. People are learning to live healthy lives without consuming animal products. In Australia in the last 4 years, people who identify as being vegetarian or almost vegetarian has grown by 12% and is now close to 2 million people. For those animals still heading towards the chopping board, more of them, hens, roosters, pigs, now have a better quality of life as the free-range industry booms. This is due to consumer awareness, pressure, and subsequent action by retailers such as Coles, Woolworths, as well as a growing number of small supermarket chains and other food outlets. Consumer outrage has also led to a voluntary pig industry commitment to minimise the use of sow stalls, although the industry body, Australia Pork Limited, sadly still refuses to acknowledge scientific evidence of the cruelty of sow stalls. More politicians are taking up the fight against factory farming, some are here tonight, with more state and territory governments like the ACT and Tasmania introducing bills to ban cruel husbandry practices such as de-peaking, sow stalls and battery cages. International demand for kangaroo meat has dramatically declined as importers move away from this cruel industry. And Russia, formerly the largest importer, temporarily suspending the trade twice due to contamination issues. Joeys are becoming better protected, less likely to die from starvation, predation, hypothermia, as the industry begins to encourage all-male shoots. Tougher sentences are now consistently prescribed for animal cruelty, reflecting an ever-growing community expectation that animals should be treated with dignity and respect. But we have a long way to go and a huge amount of work to transform the goodwill of Australians into concrete results for animals. In the new Worldwide Animal Protection Index that just came out recently, Australia is ranked as a C, which isn't a good result. And new challenges constantly present themselves. This year, Voiceless has focused on the rise of ag-gag. Ag-gag is a variety of laws which seeks to gag animal protection advocates by preventing them from recording the operations of commercial agricultural facilities. It's been implemented across the US to deter activists and journalists from documenting the treatment and suffering of animals on factory farms. Voiceless shone the spotlight on this frightening phenomena in our recent animal law lecture series, which was the most successful to date, with the highest number of registrations, engagement, and media interest. Print and radio circulation alone put coverage of the lecture series at approximately 1.5 million people. The ag-gag bill in South Australia was thankfully defeated, but more is on the horizon with New South Wales, Victoria, and the federal governments already discussing similar laws. Voiceless has many new exciting plans for the coming years, and we are keeping fighting fit to win this war. Thank you all so much for being here to support us and for all that you do individually and collectively to help animals. Before I hand over to our wonderful in-house legal counsel, Manny Dufresne, for the launch of our new report, I just want to do a call out for those of you on social media to follow Voiceless on Facebook or on Twitter. I recently joined Twitter and I've become very excited and active, and there's a huge community of animal advocates out there all discussing and sharing information. So I'll pass over to Manny. Thank you.